ready, man?
I'm super ready.
All right, here we go.
I'm so excited to show you guys this. It's pumped. Fireside duels.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
These are our heroes for today's match. On the bottom, shall be mine. Gul'dan, the Warlock. Piloted by John Briggs from our quality assurance team. And on the top, Malfurion Stormrage, the Druid. Piloted by Dan Nguyen from our quality assurance team. And they're getting their starting hands ready. Getting ready for the match. And the match has begun! Hell yeah. Alright, the players are emoting at each other, excited for the game. I greet you. In the Warlock player, each player starts with 1 mana. You can see that in the bottom right corner for the Warlock, and the top right corner near the water wheel for the Druid. And the Warlock uses his 1 mana to play a Goldshire Footman. It's a defensive minion, it's got taunt. That means if the Druid wants to attack, he has to attack the Goldshire Footman first. And the Druid plays a pint-sized summoner. It helps him summon creatures that cost more mana. And that could be a problem if for the Warlock, and so he wants to use Chaos Bolt here to get rid of it quickly. He could have used the Chaos Bolt on a demon to infuse it with Chaos Energy and make it stronger, but it looks like he really wanted to get that summoner out of the way. The Druid plays Wild Growth. He gets an extra mana crystal. Now this is interesting. It means that the Druid is probably playing more for a late game strategy. Maybe he's got some stronger minions in his deck he's going to play later. He just wants to survive there really in the mid game to get to that place where he's built his deck to really take advantage of. So now the Warlock knows that he's going to use this time to build his side of the board, get some minions out there. He plays a flesh-eating ghoul, which gets stronger every time a minion dies.
I got the best deals anywhere.
So now the Druid has a few more mana than the Warlock. He's got 5. The Warlock here has 4. And the Gadgets on Auctioneer lets him draw a card anytime he plays a spell. So he's going to start getting more mana and more cards in his hand. The Warlock plays Sense Demons, which goes through his deck and gets 2 random minions, 2 random demons, and puts them into his hand. He drew the Voidwalker here, which is also defensive, a little bit better than the Goldshire Footman, but it's a Warlock-specific card, something only Warlocks can play with. And then he deals some damage straight to that Druid. Now the Druid would really like to play a spell card here to draw a card, but he's got a lot of things to deal with. He plays Swipe. Deals enough damage to kill the flesh-eating ghoul before it can start eating corpses. And deals some extra damage to the other minions. And he uses his hero power to get 1 attack. His hero power costs 2 mana and he uses it every turn of the game. He finishes off the last minion with his Gadgets on Auctioneer. Oh, the Warlock just drew Lord Jaraxxus. Lord Jaraxxus is very powerful, but he costs 9 mana. If he can make it to turn 9, Jaraxxus can turn the game around by himself. If he can make it there. So he's looking at his hand, he's got some demons. Demons are very powerful for their mana cost, but they sometimes hurt you, they sometimes have a drawback. And this one destroys one of your own mana crystals when you play him. So now there's a huge mana discrepancy. The Druid has 6 mana, and the Warlock has 4, as he uses Chaos Bolt to make his fellow demon a little stronger. That demon has taunt as well, so he can't attack anybody but that demon right now. He uses another swipe that draws him another card, deals 3 damage to the demon. Now he has 4 health left, so he can use his Gadgets on Auctioneer to attack, but he might want to save it so he can draw more cards. Looks like he uses it to attack. He plays another pint-sized summoner. Now there's a much bigger mana discrepancy, especially with the pint-sized summoner who makes the minions cheaper for the Druid player. So as the Warlock, he's really worried now about seeing some of these huge minions that he thinks are in his deck, and so he uses Drain Life to suck some life out of that pint-sized summoner, and he uses his hero power to draw cards. You really don't want to let that Druid start playing these huge minions that he may not be ready to deal with yet. Well, the Druid has 8 mana, so he might start, he has enough to start playing something huge. Druid plays the Beast. The Beast is very strong for the mana cost. He has 10 attack. It's a lot of the health. As soon as that Warlock gets down to 0 health, he's done for. And he only has 27 health right now. But the Beast has a drawback. Inside the belly of the Beast is hidden a gnome, Finkel Einhorn. So if you can kill the Beast, he'll pop out and join your side. And the Warlock plays Siphon Soul, which just destroys a minion and rescues that gnome.
Inside that thing for months.
Welcome back, Fickle. All right, well, this looks a little better for the Warlock now. He's got a minion on the table. He's got some cards. It's about the same number of cards. He still has way less mana than the Druid, though. Oh, the Druid plays Cenarius, who comes with 2 treants with taunt. So now, the Warlock can't even get it through to attack Cenarius or Malfurion, even with Finkel. And that's Hellfire, which deals 3 damage to everything. It clears away those 2 treants, but also hurts Finkel and the Warlock. He doesn't really have anything that can go after Cenarius right now, which is troubling. He does play a Novice Engineer, kind of a weak creature, but it draws him a card. And this is looking a little bit better for the Druid now. He's got a 5/5 Cenarius in play, only against this small Novice Engineer. They both have about the same number of cards. The Druid still has a lot more mana. He plays Priestess of Illusion, which heals his Druid. And now he's got two minions with 5 attack on the table. He seems to be going after the Novice Engineer. The Novice Engineer is not a great minion when it's on the table. He uses Wrath, which gives either 3 damage or 1 damage if you draw a card. It looks like he went for the 1 damage to draw a card. He wants to have a lot of cards in his hand. In case the game goes long, he wants to have options and not to run out of speed. All right, well, this doesn't look so good for the Warlock. He's running a little bit low on health. There's 2 minions with 5 attack on that side. So next turn they'll take 10 damage right there, making it 12. And he's looking at a Pit Lord. Demons sometimes hurt you, they're very powerful, but this one deals 7 damage when it enters the battlefield. So now he's at 15, he's gonna take 5 more, then 5 more again next turn, as he plays a flesh-eating ghoul, which again gets stronger every time a minion dies. So it looks like the Warlock could get really low here. It's gonna be down to 5, and if the Druid has a Starfire or any card that can deal 5 damage, I think he's realizing he's maybe made a mistake as he gets very low. The Druid pulls out a Wrath, deals 3 damage this time. All he needs to do is deal 2 more damage to the Warlock to win this game, and then we won't even get to see Jiraxis. He plays Nourish to draw some more cards. If any of these cards deals damage, he might be over. He uses his hero powers to deal 1 more damage. Now the Warlock's at 1 health, and he doesn't have it. Well, that's great for the Warlock, because now he can play Lord Jiraxis. He's got some minions on the board. Let's see what happens here. You faced Jiraxis, Jiraxis kills the Warlock who summons him and takes his place. And then the ghoul gets a little stronger from eating the corpse of your old hero. Jiraxis is very strong. He comes in, he's got a new set of health. Now he's at 15 health. He can attack. He's got a new hero power as the ghoul keeps getting a little stronger now. This ghoul fared a little better than the last one. Well, this is much better for the Warlock. He's got way less cards. But he's got some minions on the battlefield. He's got Jiraxis. The Druid plays Ragnaros the Fire Lord. Ragnaros can't attack normally, but at the end of his turn, he deals 8 damage randomly. There's just something on the other side of the board. Oh, and he hits the Pit Lord. Well, the Ghoul gets a little stronger at least. Now, the big problem for the Druid right now is he gives Jiraxis' hero power. Every turn of the game, he can use that hero power to summon a 6/6 Infernal. So that could get out of control quickly. The Druid has more cards here, as he plays the Succubus, which costs him to discard his Doom Guard. That's unfortunate for Jiraxis. He uses that hero power. And I don't think he's really got a way to kill Ragnaros unless he uses his Ghoul and his Soulfire to deal 4 damage to him. Looks like instead he keeps pressure on. He's got the Druid pretty low. He's at 12 health right now. And he uses the Soulfire on Ragnaros, not killing it, so Ragnaros will get to strike again. Both players are getting a little bit low. They're at 12 health on the top and 14 health on the bottom. And the Druid plays Baron Geddon, a good friend of Ragnaros, actually. The healing adjusts himself to stay out of range. Now both Baron Geddon and Ragnaros will strike, dealing tons of damage to the opposing side. The Jiraxis is at 4 health right now. So if the Druid can draw just a Wrath, maybe if he hadn't used the Wrath from that gnome earlier in the game, he might have won this game. Jiraxis feels it's time to get rid of the Ragnaros. The Ghoul's getting a little, he's only got 1 health left, but now he's got 10 attack after eating all those corpses. We see more Infernos. That's really going to get out of control. The Druid has a lot of cards though, as he gets to 8 health, 5 health now. Jiraxis is still only in 4 health. The Druid just needs to draw 1 card that deals 3 damage and then uses hero power for the last damage. Another swipe maybe. The Ghoul now has 10 attack and only 1 health. Another healing touch. This Druid trying to stay alive just long enough to draw something and deal just a couple of damage to Jiraxis. Here we have the Ancient of Lore. When you play the Ancient of Lore, you can choose to draw 2 cards or to restore 8 health. So he could have played that first, tried to draw a card that deals some damage to Jiraxis, but he wanted to play a save, gain some health. As he kills the Ancient of Lore with that Infernal, the Ghoul getting a little bit stronger still. The Warlock pushed together, which kills all minions, but he's got all the minions, so not a great draw for the Warlock. Now, the Druid, again, is 6 health. If that card deals any amount of damage to the Jiraxis, this could be over.
I am the blade.
Priest of Bloom healing some more, and then he's using his hero power. Oh, he's gonna sacrifice himself just to kill the flesh-eating ghoul. He's not going out like that. And that's it. Jiraxis has won!
So I think that probably gives you guys a good idea of how much strategy is in the game. And also, you know, because it's an online game, we can make up all kinds of cool abilities that you wouldn't be able to do in a physical card game. And I think, you know, we'll continue to kind of explore that space as we continue to make cool abilities in cards. So the big question is, of course, what can I play it on? And we are big PC stalwarts at Blizzard, so we're going to launch it on Windows and Mac. But probably one of the cool things that's also a little bit different is it's actually going to be playable on iPad. And we actually already have it internally playable on the iPad, so it's going to launch very soon after the PC and Mac version. All right, so when can I play it? No, really. So the beta is going to be out this summer. The release is this year, and you guys can play it on the show floor today. And you can play the Windows version and the iPad version today. So this is a big experiment for us to see whether or not we can actually announce a game and release it in the same year, which is something we've always wanted to do. So the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is we did interviewed a bunch of the team members to talk about kind of the making of this project and what it meant to some of the key guys in the team and those of us that are executives in the studio. And I think it's a really good summary of some of the things that I already told you guys about, but also kind of some of our thoughts about the project itself.
I think the release of Hearthstone is really important for Blizzard. At a broader level, it's kind of a step out of our comfort zone. It's not all that big far of a step. You know, it's a Warcraft game, but just being so accessible, right? And that's really exciting.
Previous to this, you know, all of our games have been like 50+ person teams and have been multi-year development cycles. And we really wanted to see, could we make a game that lived up to our epic standards, but is much smaller in scope?
We're loosening up a little bit and we're developing, you could say at a smaller scale, but at the same level of quality, the same level of investment, the same level of passion.
And what we really wanted to prove to ourselves was that we could still kind of go back to that old garage programmer days of a small team accomplishing something really fun. So we started this team within Blizzard that we called Team 5. And the whole mandate for the team was keep the team very small, and you have to really think of ways to develop a game that might be non-traditional within Blizzard's walls.
It was a team that was put together specifically for this title, and we have about 15 hardcore ninjas who kind of jumped on this.
We really want to get a team that were generals, that are almost like old school Blizzard, that could wear a lot of different hats and not be as specialized as, you know, a lot of the bigger teams are by necessity.
You know, many of us that got our start at Blizzard in the glorious golden age back in the day, we all came up playing Magic the Gathering and Jihad and all sorts of card games when that scene was really blowing up. So I think there's something really fundamental about TCGs to our shop
Anytime that we decide making a Blizzard, it's because we're making a game that we want to play, that we think a lot of the Blizzard fans would also be excited to play.
We're busy tonight, but there's always a spot for one more. It's quick and easy to learn. Here, let me show you.
Hearthstone is a easy, accessible game where it's like playing as one of 9 heroes in the Warcraft universe, and it's essentially a collectible strategy game.
One of the most exciting things about Hearthstone is how easy it is to get in and play it. It's a game that within 5 minutes of jumping into the experience, you'll know exactly how to play, and you can be having fun in that time.
Your soul shall be mine! Victory or death!
If you're coming to Blizzard for the first time, this is a game that's for you. If you've been playing Blizzard games for a while now, whether you played World of Warcraft or you played Warcraft back in the day, I think you'll still sort of recognize a lot of the really cool spell effects, really cool class mechanics, things that you kind of really came to love in previous titles that are released.
It's not only a really fun, gameplay in and of itself, but it just offers that window into the characters and the lands and the depth of what Warcraft is.
You can put together your deck, play a game, takes 10 minutes, and then you're out. Really fun.
Ah, this is my favorite way to play.
So the first of the 3 ways to play Hearthstone is play mode. And play mode is sort of our base way to play. You go online, you play against another randomly match-made player, and then you can earn medals or packs of cards by playing.
After you play games against opponents online, you'll see new card packs show up, and as you open them, you'll get new minions, new spells, and abilities that let you expand your overall collection and types of strategies you can play.
How you're building these cards that you're playing against other players with is in a collection manager where you have a huge collection of cards and you're building different cards. I'm putting weapons in, I'm putting abilities in, I'm putting different minions in, and I'm building a powerful deck that I can use to crush my opponent.
Now, we also have a practice mode, and this is where you go when you have some kind of cool, interesting deck ideas that you want to test out against the computer, or if you just feel like you need a little bit more time before you jump into the fray. And the idea here is you take whatever that deck is to play against a normal AI, and you kind of walk you through the paces of how to play very competitively. When you're ready for it, we also have an expert AI, where the real challenge is waiting for you.
The third mode is called the Forge. And in the Forge, building the deck is half the fun. You start out being given a bunch of random cards, and you start choosing which of a set of 3 different cards you want to put in your deck, and you do that a bunch of times. And then once you've built the deck, you're matched against some other player who's also built a deck in the same way, so it's totally fair.
I cannot believe it! You and your deck are unstoppable!
One of the phrases that we've thrown around a lot is making games that are epic in quality, but not necessarily epic in scope, and that's exactly what Hearthstone is.
Fundamentally, most people think of epic as being really large. And I think what we want to do is make epic mean something different. Epic should mean an epic fun play experience that you want to play for a really long time. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the game itself has to have, thousands and thousands of monsters and huge monolithic technology. It's like do something that's small in scope but epic in gameplay.
It's really where the world's going, and I like that we're, getting in step with that. We're taking risks on kind of smaller products that have just a high degree of fun and imagination. I believe people are going to get a big kick out of this product. It's got all the personality and quality of any of our big games, and I like us in this space.
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
Job's done.
So the last thing I'd leave you guys with is I think every time that I've told people about the game and explained it to them, there's been a certain amount of skepticism. And, because we've told various teams within the company, and what's always happened has been really interesting. We always know that we're going to have a game of Blizzard that I think is going to be really exciting to people. When we have that moment internally where we have to tell our teams, you guys need to stop spending so much time playing Hearthstone because we need you to work on the other games. And with this game, it's really hit that. So I really, really encourage you guys to go out to the booth over the next couple days and play the game and see what you guys think for yourselves. So thank you guys for coming to listen to this, and hope you have fun playing the game.